Hi guys, how's it going? It's JP from Bax Music and I'm having a lot of fun with a very high gain new pedal. This is the Palladium by Seymour Duncan, which essentially is a very expansive, very gain heavy, gain central pedal. I'm running this, it's important to let you know what I'm running this with a small Engel 5 watt indoor practice amp. But you can hear it's doing some really big transformations, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the controls. So what we've got our overall level control, which is the level of the pedal. A bass control which sits at around 100 Hz and you can boost that as much as you like. A mid control which is really interesting because unlike the other frequencies of the bass and the treble, you can actually choose what frequency you'd like to boost. So the minute I've got it something about 600-ish, but I could choose to boost a bit more of like a high mid frequency for some more modern metal, more progressive metal sounds, which essentially this pedal is geared towards. Got treble which is around the 2.5K region. So you can change that as well, and an overall presence control, which also mainly controls the treble, but other controls too. You've got your gain stage down here, and I was actually using that on the lowest gain possible, so you can see that it gets up to some really high distortion sounds. A resonance control just for kind of shaping the lower frequency in general of the pedal. And you've got a boost, which is just a fixed boost circuit, really essential for leads and things. But what you do is you just step on this control on the right here, and you can control the level of the boost. So we'll have a look at all of these controls. So, just for reference, I want to show you the clean sound that I'm using from this Engel practice amp. It's actually pretty calm. But with the Palladium engaged, you can hear it already gets really nice and hot. So this is with the lowest gain setting enabled, so you can actually hear it's a very, very high gain pedal. So let's try out a riff and change around some of these settings and see the different sounds that we can get from this pedal. So with a nice sparkly high end, a big impact in our mid-range, and we're going to leave the bass just a little bit lower, and I'm going to leave the boost off for now. Let's try that, but with a little bit more bass this time, because at the minute it's sounding very trebly. So I'm going to bring up the low end a little bit. I'm going to bring the treble down to unity. So let's have a look. That's already sounding much fuller. I'm going to try moving around the mid frequency a little bit, so I'm actually going to boost a little bit of the lower mid region, which is a bit less desirable for this kind of music, but just so that you can hear what that sounds like, I'm going to bring up the level of that slightly as well. Let's see how the presence reacts when I turn this down. So you can hear things are going to sound a bit lower and a bit bulkier, as you'd expect, but when I bring the presence up is really when this pedal begins to shine. So you can now hear I'm getting much more of that modern metal sound that I'm looking for in this pedal. Let's go and try out the boost setting and see how that sounds. You can hear that as essentially just by being a fixed circuit, it's very hard to actually tell what frequencies that is, but it's really boosting the high end, so it might be very useful for solos and for some lead playing. So if I engage that now and bring the gain up and try and do a little bit of some solo work. You can hear the boost setting is really suited for that kind of thing where you're trying to drive even more and perhaps not get more of a grainier sound, but perhaps bring up your volume a little bit. So it's a nice, transparent, clean boost with a bit more focus in the high end. I'm going to try and explore a couple of different settings now with the same riff, but I'm just going to increase the resonance control, which essentially is bringing out a bit more of that low end so things sound a lot punchier. I'm going to bring down the bass a little bit because of that, and I'm now going to try and slam that mid frequency really high so we get a nice, modern, high impact gain sound. Thanks very much for checking out my demo of the Seymour Duncan Palladium. If you'd like to have a look at some more pedal demos, some more guitar demos and amp demos, you can check them out on our YouTube. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about this pedal, you can click on the links above and below and take you to the product page. Thanks very much.